What are we witnessing right now for Bitcoin? We're seeing price action that for this time in the cycle is unusually bullish, while retail is just waking up, which is also unusually late. So we need to talk. Bitcoin nearly broke 64,000 US dollars, which means the price rallied more than 25% in 2 days. This was followed by a 7% flash crash, and now we're pumping again. And I have to tell you, that gives me extreme bull market vibes. I have a lot of data prepared for you that indicates what Bitcoin is up to, where all the buying pressure is coming from, and much more. As always here on my channel, we will analyze the situation with a calm mind and with the most important facts. Coming up in this episode of Phil Prince, your one and only stop for crypto, finance and trading. With me, you will gain the skill set and the mindset to crush the markets. Before we start, make sure to follow me on Twitter. My username is philprince_11. It's also linked on my channel. Yesterday in my video about Jasmine, I told you if we hit 100 followers here on Twitter, I'll tell you guys about a coin that will pump very soon. So hurry up, make these 100 followers full so I can post it on Twitter. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please ask yourself why and do it now. You really don't want to miss any of the next videos. Let's get to it. First things first. What did even happen? It feels like a dream. Bitcoin, just like that, hit $64,000 nearly. On January 11th, we had the approval of the Bitcoin spot ETFs, as you might remember. And after that, we had a downwards move, which is normal for these kind of events. Therefore, the saying goes, buy the rumor, sell the news. And this has been the case for many such important events in the past. I mean, here, for example, we had the CME Bitcoin futures release, which pretty much perfectly marked the top of the 2017 bull market. Then we had the Coinbase IPO, pretty much perfectly marking the top of the 2021 bull market, or at least the first top. And each of these times we had a big pullback. But this point in time with the Bitcoin spot ETFs, and this as well is a very important event. More information about that in my very first video here on this channel, where I talked about all the important information about the Bitcoin ETFs. This point in time, we just got a 20% pullback. And from that point on, it's just been up only. From this local top, 62%, which brings us near all-time highs. In case you don't remember, the all-time high sits at around 69K. And this is even before the halving, which will most likely be on the 21st of April. So it's another 52 days. And this has never ever happened before. Here, for reference, I marked all the halvings in yellow. Before the halving in 2020, we were around 47% away from all-time highs. Before the halving in 2016, we were around 64% away from all-time highs. And before the halving in 2012, we were 105% away from the all-time highs. And now it's less than 10%. With more than 50 days to go till the halving, we could even potentially see new all-time highs. Now, with this kind of price action, you would think that retail is already getting aware, or even has been aware for the last weeks. But actually, that's not the case. If we look at Google Trends for the search term Bitcoin, which normally acts as a gauge to see if new people are onboarding the crypto space, shows us that we are merely at around 19 to 20 from 100 points, with 100 points being the top of the last bull run. Even in mid-2022, when we were in the middle of the bear market, awareness was at over 50 points. And this was around here. So do all people of the world now know what Bitcoin is and therefore they don't Google it? Well, I don't know about that. Because even if you know what Bitcoin is, you would still Google it in order to find out what the price is, for example. If you're not already as deep in the space that you have the CoinMarketCap app installed on your phone, or even your exchange account. But now there's first signs that retail might be coming. As I posted here on Twitter, Coinbase app has crashed reportedly, and in past history, this was an indication that retail is coming into the market. Also, with Coinbase being one of the biggest exchanges in the world and the #1 exchange in the US. I actually find it hilarious that Coinbase, such a big company, isn't able to manage the amounts of load that hits their exchange with them having so much experience in the market and past bull markets. But oh well, so we can still use it as an indicator for retail. But where's the capital then coming from? You might have guessed it, it's the Bitcoin ETFs. How else would it be possible to just get a 20% dip and then pump straight up? The Bitcoin ETFs combined smashed their trading volume record with a huge day of $7.69 billion in inflows in a day. The previous record was at $4.66 billion, and that was launch day. BlackRock's ETF alone had $3.3 billion in trading volume today on the day of recording, and that's 2.3x to yesterday's volume. Let that sink in. What then happened right after was the 7% flash crash, followed by a quick reversal. And now while I'm recording this, we are dumping a little. And this wasn't anything unusual. The funding rates were sky high. On some exchanges, 0.11%. What then often happens is a flash crash that liquidates all of the late longs or late shorts, depending on the market situation. And the thing is, we're still pretty high. So now on the one hand, we have the futures market with their skyrocketing funding rates and immense capital flowing into Bitcoin spot through the ETF. This is an explosive combination. This will set us for extreme volatility. So be prepared for that. Been there, done that. And through this liquidity, we had a combined $740 million in 24-hour liquidations. Actually, a little more in shorts than in longs. I guess these were some disbelievers who thought they could nail the top, which is a very, very, very bad idea. This is the fastest way to ruin your account. Also, you can see that this flash crash had a massive decrease in open interest. We now have to see what happens next, because if price is making a higher high now, but the open interest is not able to keep up, this will make for a divergence and increase the chance of a local top. But this has to be seen. So in short, could we go higher from here? And the answer is yes, we could, as we have immense spot inflows of the ETFs. Given that retail is now starting to flow into the market, we could see even more buy power and get new all-time highs. What I then could think of is that the smart money will wash out retail around the halving, which could make for a higher high and then kick out retail with a bigger dump. Another possibility would be that everyone is now anticipating all-time highs and we're starting a decline from here, making everyone believe that we will see a big dump, but then we will pump after the halving. At this point in time, we need some more information, like divergences in the open interest, as I've shown you, and there's more. Another thing that amazes me if we are looking at the liquidation heat map is that there's not too much capital left below that needs to be wiped out. And with not too much, nothing on the yellow scale, most of it is more in the middle area of blue to green. And this could be an indication that we actually might go higher from here. Let's wait and see. If you're now asking yourself, should I buy Bitcoin now? And you're still sidelined, please don't get FOMO. Please don't think you're too late and be angry about yourself that you didn't buy lower. This won't change anything. We're heading into a bull market. It has officially started. There's a lot of gains to be made. There's a lot of amazing altcoin projects that will most likely outperform Bitcoin. Heck, at this point in time, last cycle, Solana wasn't even launched yet. So use the time to educate yourself. Use the time to understand the market and the crypto space and everything that revolves around it. And luckily, you're here with me, Phil Prince, where you will receive all of this information and more. So once again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel before we get to the next point. One very interesting thing I read earlier is that Edward Snowden predicts a national government will be revealed this year to have been buying Bitcoin without having disclosed that fact publicly. I'm sure you know what this means. If this information will come out and not be leaked before, this will fuel hype immensely. But also remember what I said earlier. It's buy the rumor, sell the news. So this kind of information could mark a local top and reminds me of the last cycle when we heard about Elon Musk accepting Bitcoin for Tesla as payment. This was, as far as I remember, pretty near to the top. We had a bit of a pump, but not too much then. So let's see if this holds true. Another very interesting speculation is this. Past bull alt seasons were fueled by money coming out of Bitcoin into alts. This is called capital rotation and means that Bitcoin is flowing through all of the differently sized crypto projects, so from large cap to mid cap to small caps, and pumping these categories one by one. Eventually, a Bitcoin pullback will mark the end of the alt season. But what we're now seeing is that Bitcoin is rising because money that comes into Bitcoin ETFs. And these Bitcoin ETFs hold spot Bitcoin, real Bitcoin, but they can't move out. So this kind of capital cannot rotate into alts. So could this mean we will see an alt season in parallel to Bitcoin rising and not afterwards? Because maybe retail will then hop into alts more likely than Bitcoin, as they think they are too late to the party. Also, we have narratives like gaming and AI that are very much in the mainstream already and therefore are super relatable for retail. So this is food for thought. Nothing is set in stone yet, but we have to keep these things in mind. We need to be ready for every outcome. We have to try to anticipate multiple outcomes and then adapt to the one that is unfolding itself. Stick around, we'll do together on this channel. If you're looking for great altcoins, make sure to have a look at my altcoin reviews. As always, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research and due diligence. This was Phil Prince for you. Crush the markets. Until next time, goodbye.